I'm not afraid. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, it's 5 o'clock. It's happy hour. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. No boys and girls. This is happy hour. This is an informal little just live that me and my good buddy Mr. Scott Goyette do here on Friday nights as we prepare for our launch of our brand new show called The Unfiltered Experience. Have you heard about it? Are you intrigued? What is the Unfiltered Experience? I know that this guy is going to be able to tell us what the Unfiltered Experience is. Scott, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Happy Friday night.
Happy Friday night, Chris. I'm actually sharing this one last time just to get everybody to jump on board with us right now. So,
yeah, brother. What's up, Rob Morgan? Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy Friday night. I got to say tonight that I'm doing 7-Up and or Diet 7-Up and vodka. So I've got my it's what I do. It's what I do. I drink and I know things or something like that. Because in preparation for January 3rd, hulking up. Did you see my picture that I posted the other day?
Dude, I did, dude. You look like a young Chris Rausch.
Fuck. I'm gonna get back to that. I was like 225, 230, and I was like, nice. That was a brick shit house.
Well, that's what you just said what the Unfiltered Experience is all about, man. It's being your best, and it's coming to a place where you're safe, and it's making sure that those goals you have in place are going to happen. And we're going to give you some tools and offer you some ideas and thoughts and bounce them off of you so that you can achieve those goals. So you just defined it, brother.
Hell nice. Yeah. Hell yeah. Ben Hayden's in the house. Happy Friday night, brothers.
Ben, we have 59 minutes to go. We're keeping this under an hour.
That guy's positive. You know Ben Hayden? This guy's a pain in the ass. This guy right here. You know why he's a pain in the ass?
What do you think?
Because he starts every message. I'm going to be a pain in the ass.
That's fair.
We love you, Ben Hayden. Ben Hayden. Hey, but if you guys need websites done, go check out Ben Hayden. He's rocking it. He wants to show me my website tonight. I'm like, dude, I'm cool. I'll check it out tomorrow, but it's going to be fucking amazing. I know that. And he's working on yours too, right?
He's doing it all, dude. He's essentially the god of websites and design and development. So
he is. And like product design. I mean, Jesus Christ, he did where is it at? We can't really see it right here, but he did the Raw&Unscripted.
He does it all.
He's done I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is? I don't.
Little
teaser, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Little teaser. Hey, we have Susan Hamill in the house tonight. What's up, Susan?
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
To check on us to make sure that we're doing good. What the hell did I do with our branding thing?
That's reasonable.
You want bricks? Well, I like the wood.
Gonna go with wood today?
Got wood. It's Friday night. Somebody's got wood. I'm just kidding. No, I'm actually being serious. Ben says truth hurts. Truth hurts. So here we are. How many let me look at the calendar, dude. Time is flying by. We have so we are here.
2 shows till we start the Unfiltered Experience, because January 1st is actually the first official show. We're actually starting essentially the start of the year as early as you can get it. The timing's perfect because it's a Friday. So
New Year's night.
Things are gonna get real.
Shit's gonna get real. Yeah, we have parental advisory stuff on there and everything. Yes. No. So yeah, literally, because I mean, well, Friday is Christmas. Do a 5 o'clock Christmas one. I'd probably get my ass handed to me.
I think this is our last show before we do the Unfiltered Experience. We might jump in and do a special show and drop something in, because people are going to be sitting around for the holidays with nothing to do. We can throw something in there and kind of talk about what gifts people got and how much fun they're having over the holidays, all that stuff.
Yeah. Hell yeah. My wife always gets mad. Can you really just have to do that all the time? I'm like, yeah, I do have to do it all the time because people need it all the time. Shut up.
There you go.
And I know she's not watching right now. Hi, she says, hi, Chris, and hi, son. Oh, well, I can still call you mom anyway. That's what I do. Rob says, so what are we talking about? We're talking about sex, baby. We're talking about you and me. See, I got to get it all out now because I'm going to be a little bit more professional on our new show. Should I be more professional, Scott?
Yeah, you can do that. It's up to you.
Oh, man. Hey, so what are we talking about tonight? We actually have somebody who's going to be dropping by here in just a few minutes. She is just getting on, and we're going to just have a little conversation with her. But what the heck? That's my ringtone.
You serious?
Yeah, so every time you call me, I get that.
Nice.
Yeah, no, that was a big issue I was dealing with earlier. I was not very happy with AAA. Can I say that on yeah, AAA? I was not very happy with them earlier.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, keeping it real. What's up, Trisha? So good to see you. Dan, what's up? Dan failed. Hey yo.
Hey,
We just
Dan,
got
what's up, buddy?
introduced to Dan via the person that's going to be coming on here in just a second. So Dan is cool people, definitely. So what are we talking about, Scott? We're talking about, one of the things that I was thinking about. I know we don't come up with anything before the show. There's none of this is rehearsed, but and thinking about you and Pam, I was thinking about, kids. One of the things that we really have in common, a common thread between the three of us, is the fact that we love kids. We're super vested in our youth and the growth of our youth and everything else. And with Go Love Now, which you got the insignia behind you, what are your thoughts on 2021 for kids? For parents that are dealing with kids that have had to deal with COVID and everything and being shut in, what advice would you have for parents in dealing with trying to get that broken out by how would you help people help kids? That's what I'm saying.
So first and foremost, the thing that we teach all the time is one of the things that people have the tendency to do as a parent, as a teacher, as a coach, as a manager, is we try to teach people things that we're not doing ourselves. So say, for example, I learn a lesson and I start teaching you. If I'm not displaying that and showing the brilliance of that lesson, then I really haven't learned it enough to teach it, and people won't receive that lesson. I think in 2020, I hear more parents complaining and more adults saying, oh my God, my kid's going through this struggle and they have to wear a mask and they have to do this and they have to do that. And what I'm really hearing is the parent talking about all their own issues, and they're not really displaying leadership qualities for their kid. This is what I see more of. I see kids saying, okay, this is my real world right now, and I'm wearing a mask to be in, just to make sure that other people are safe, or whatever the things that are going on are. The fact that they can't go to school and it's virtual. A lot of kids are struggling with it, but I think the kids are doing better with the fact that they're sitting in their own minds and they're being forced to be contained in many ways than the parents are. And here's the deal. Is it better for us to, think what's happening right now to adults, all the trauma, all the issues that you've got? We're living in our own minds in quarantine and we're stressed out. We're freaking out. Is it better for us to not have our kids dealing with that now? Because the fact that these kids are going through some struggles means they're becoming more resilient. They're sitting in with themselves. They're thinking, they're growing. And we're sitting here trying to coddle them. But in fact, my daughter's sitting here saying, okay, I can't go to school. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create more art. I'm going to find new opportunities. I'm going to find one friend that we can bring over in quarantine. She's creating her own life now as a 14-year-old. So when she's 40, she's not going to need me or some coach or some teacher to tell her what to do, because she's already on the path. What we're doing now is we're doing a disservice to our kids, coddling them and saying how horrible the situation for them is. Find a way to make this the situation, because it's the situation they've got. So my thing to you, to anybody, would be whatever lesson you're teaching, be it. Make sure that what you're teaching, you're actually practicing.
Boom. Boom, dude, that was exactly what I was thinking, because I've heard parents going crazy, and I'm like, do you do that in front of your kids? Are you setting that example for your kids, how you handle a difficult situation, how you handle, something that's unexpected? No, you're exactly spot on, Scott. It's a matter of leading by example and saying, hey, listen, guys, this is what happens in life. Stuff does happen, and this is how we respond to that. We gather together, we figure out a plan, we all chip in our best, and we make that happen. And I think you're onto something with that, because I was watching Jackson. The reason why I brought it up is because I was watching Jackson the other day, and he's been really upset about not being able to play with kids. But in the same time, I've watched his imagination have to get stronger. I've watched him have to create more in his mind. And sometimes that concerns me, but other times I'm like, you know what? If he was at school right now, he would probably be learning other behaviors, probably bad habits and things of that nature, because he was starting to do that before. So I look at this time, obviously in my situation, of being able to be spot on with him. He's 4 years old and a part of that growth. But you're right. It should force people into dealing with challenging situations, because that's how you and I have become as strong as we are, is because we dealt with those situations when we were young, right?
Exactly, dude. It's a different development opportunity. That's all it is. We had a development opportunity, which of course everyone's going to go back and say, I was the last generation to not wear a helmet. I was the last generation to stay out. Like everyone wants to say it like it's his badge of honor. Well, here's the deal. The reality today is they're learning new ways to be resilient. So sure, so they wear a helmet. So sure, so we give them a trophy. But at the same time, they're learning to be more than do. They're sitting in their own mind and they're saying, how do I create my own fun? How do I deal with being alone? How do I deal with not having loneliness while alone and being creative in that moment? So their ability to be the best they can be. Personally, I think we're going to look 20, 40 years out, a couple generations, and say this is one of the most amazing generations ever, because that's the way the world works. They learn from what we're doing or what we're doing right or wrong. And I truly believe 2020 is going to be a gift that we just don't see yet. You know, very growth mindset, like we don't see it yet. And I'm very confident in 2040, we're going to see the results of the challenges that we've seen now, and they're going to be good. They're going to be really good, bigly good. In fact, Chris, bigly good.
Bigly good. I love that.
Yes.
Bigly good.
Mm-hmm.
Bigly good. Look, who do we got? We got Glenn Marshauer in the house. Chris,
What's up, Glenn? How are you, brother?
What's up, Glenn, brother? Thank you so much for being here. Rob Morgan, me show real talk. Me go pee pee in toilet. What's up, Jose Morera from Puerto Rico, my brother?
Hey,
this
buddy.
guy's a stud. He's been on my show before.
Yeah, he was on your show, I remember.
Yep. Rob Morgan says that should have been my show. Real talk. Rob Morgan live on Facebook. Can't wait to get on live with you guys sometime. Definitely.
Absolutely.
We're gonna make it happen. Trisha says nailed it. Yes. There's so many places I can go with that. Dan says my kids have been super creative at home. My exes, they're doing just fine. It's our negative talk that they are hearing. Yes.
Yeah. And we're only human too. Like, we don't have to beat ourselves up about it. The fact that we're talking about it and you're saying that awareness is everything. Like, we're unlearning the things we know we need to unlearn. And in that process, we're doing the best to teach our kids. So no one's right or wrong. We're just human beings growing together. It's good stuff.
Absolutely. It's what's an interesting conversation on that part. She's not watching. Is when you have the positive and the constructive in the house. You have this, like, hey, everything's going good. And you have the, oh my God, it's going straight down into the ground. How do you deal with that? Rob says, my son is 19 years old and on his way to running his own life. Doesn't ask me for much, just some advice along the way. Yes. Ben Hayden says, kids are resilient and more adapted to their surrounding environments than adults. Oh, hell yes.
100%.
And speaking of surrounding environments and beautiful people, Pamela.
Look at her.
What's up? What's up?
Look at you.
Great to see you guys. I'm doing great. How are you? I'm wearing my Christmas sweater. I'm going to a Christmas party. I didn't put my antlers on yet, but I can if I need to.
I need to put my glasses on for the Christmas sweater because all I see is grayishness. Oh yeah. There's little stars. It's pretty good.
Where are the antlers?
They're right over here. Should I snag them? Do I need them? Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll just sit here and entertain you guys.
Chris, you know what I was just thinking? I should have worn I have a Grinch outfit. I told you I should have worn my Grinch outfit. It's too late now, but
we'll do that on Christmas.
Christina
says, I'm teaching my daughter her colors while making homemade decorations. That is awesome. That is
the moments, being present.
My daughter is reading books to the cat and her fishies. That is so great. Glenn Morris says, I celebrate your optimism, Scott. Yes.
Thanks, brother. I think we're in the same boat on that. I mean, we create our own world, so there's definitely negative out there, but we amplify that by talking about it and focusing on it. And I've heard you say the same thing. So we amplify what we look at. So let's keep seeing the good stuff, like reindeer hats. That's what we're looking into right now, reindeer hat.
I know. I'm just sad that we didn't think of this ahead of time, so I could send you guys some.
And I have a Grinch outfit that, like, I was getting out of the shower. I could have put my Grinch outfit on. I mean, it's perfect.
We'll plan better next time.
Moments, yes. So I don't know if you caught that, what we were talking about, Pam, but I sprung something on Scott that I was thinking about earlier today when I was watching Jackson. Just thinking about kids during this time. And I know you're so passionate about kids and the youth, and that's one thing that the three of us kind of brought us together over COVID. We really met in March. Thank you very much, Glenn Morshauer, because it all started literally from Glenn. I hope you're still watching. Glenn sends me a link and says nothing with it. It just sends me a Zoom link, and I'm like, okay, Glenn Morshauer sends me something. I click on it. I clicked on it, and I show up in this Zoom room with Bill Banashek and Joe Ingram. I feel like I'm like in a brothel or something. I'm like, what's up, guys? And then from there, I met you guys, and here we are. It's just been so amazing. So thank you so much, Glenn, for doing that. She says, "Oh, he's still here. He's still watching." Thank you. I mean, literally, that's
Hi,
why
Glenn.
we were here. That is why we were here, Glenn. It's all talking about that Ricochet situation. But
we are indebted.
But we were talking about, Pam. The kids going through this situation at this time. What do you think is? What do you think is going to come from this time for the kids? Do you think it's going to come strength and resiliency and problem solving, or do you think there's going to be societal issues or social issues? We're just kind of exchanging a little bit of our thoughts on that, and wanted to get your take on it as well.
Yeah. It's funny. I was just thinking about this yesterday. I had no idea we were going to talk about this, but it's interesting because I think that it can go a lot of different ways. And to the point that Dan was making, the kids are absorbing what's around them, right? And it's our energy, it's the things we say, it's what we watch, it's what we do. So, if we're in this space of, oh my God, bad things are happening, then that's what the kids are getting, right? And if we're in the space of, you know what, yeah, there's some stuff going on, but we're going to get through it and we're going to be better for it, then that's what they're going to get. And, giving them the tools to be able to, seeing them use the tools that are going to help us do that is so powerful.
100%. One of the things that Chris and I are sharing is we're never defining a pathway for anybody to take, whether it's our kids, whether it's somebody we're coaching or a friend. We're offering them tools and saying, how can you use these tools on your pathway? Hey, Chris, real quick, one of you guys have an air conditioner on or something? Because I feel like the sound,
yes,
you can totally hear, it's hard to hear both of you guys from my perspective.
Hang on 1 second, let me mute that. I can't mute myself, so I'll be right back.
Can't mute yourself.
Sorry, it's hard. I'm sure people have trouble hearing.
I wasn't sure what it was. I was like, I thought it was my headphones.
Cool. But yeah, so to the point, I think it's so important. One of the things that, we always ask Kayla, and I'm sure you guys are doing the same kind of things, is when she says, Mommy, do you like this? Daddy, do you like this? I always say, what do you think? And we get her answer, and I'm like, wow, that's a really good insight. So we challenge her to get deeper in loving herself, and then I offer insight, because I don't want to influence telling her like, oh, that's great, do that. And I love when she tells me stuff like, well, I don't really like this because, and then she explains it. She goes, it's good, but I could have done better. I'm like, then do better. And she goes and does something better. And I'm like, this is so easy when you really think of how you interact instead of just, doing the things that sometimes were autopilot for our parents. And not to say anyone doing it right or wrong. The beautiful thing about the evolution of humanity is we can see opportunity, not someone doing something right or wrong. And then Kayla's going to find something that I can do better and do it even better. And it's just a beautiful process. Like, there's no fault in it. It's just a wonderful process.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I think to that point too, kids are so intuitive. Like in some ways they can lead us. I mean, you think about the things your kids say sometimes and it's like out of the mouth of babes, right? You just go, oh my gosh, they have that sort of, they're closer to that innate wisdom a lot of times than we are because we have all this stuff that gets in the way. And, if we can kind of come down to their level, I mean, it's amazing what happens when you just get quiet and you listen to your kids. And sometimes that's really hard because you're so busy, you have so much going on, and it's just like, okay, I'll get to you, but if you can stop for just a little bit and go, what is it you really want to say to me, and really, and literally get down on their level with them, sit on the floor, pull out some toys, you'll be amazed the things they'll say and the insight that you're going to get into their world from that.
Dude, that's so impactful right there, Pam. I can't even emphasize that enough. Even when their kids are small. I mean, I just had the situation. You guys know I'm big on communication. Jackson he's getting more upset lately and like, oh, I'm going to get out of here. And he's been doing these things. And I caught him the other day and I said, no, dude, we have to talk about this. And before I would kind of give up when he didn't want to talk, but I was like, come on, baby, I can't help you unless you communicate with me. And I got down on his level and I said, what's going on? Does something hurt? Are you feeling frustrated? What's going on? And I was really super patient with him. I wanted the answer, but I was really super patient. It probably took about 15 minutes of just sitting there holding him and like talking to him and like kind of sharing a little bit. I know what it feels like to be frustrated, and I didn't give up. And I knew that there was something inside that he wanted to share and he was going to be able to articulate in his own way. And he did. And it was like, okay, yeah. So that's so massively important. No matter how old your kids are, no matter how anybody is really to listen to them and understand them and to want to know what that truth is so that we can fix it for them or fix whatever it is in us.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's amazing how kids, they respond so quickly to that. Like one of the things I love to do is, of course, my son's older, so sometimes I'll go pick up my niece and nephew. We'll go do fun younger kid things, but just to like let myself go into that space of what it's like to be their age, and to see the world through their eyes again. And I think when we allow ourselves to do that, it not only opens up communication with them, but it opens up our intuition in a different way, and we see the world in a different way. And we remember that the world isn't really all this stuff that we're immersed in as adults all the time.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point too. And if you guys have any comments or questions, anything you're dealing with in your situations, I know Christina's is sharing here with us. She says, my daughter is now wanting to help feed her kitty. It's amazing her learning responsibility. Yeah, I mean, that's what you should be doing. I mean, that within a reason is teaching kids the structure to be able to do that. So I measured it in a cup and put it in the kitty's bowl. Yeah, absolutely. damn, Pam, you just said something and it reminded me of something that I was going to ask you about and I forgot.
Well, let you think about it for a second.
You got Scott.
I'll share something. It might jog your brain. So one of the beautiful things that you guys are communicating is there's 2 times in our life where we're the closest to source. And of course, that's the day we're born and the day we die. And anything incremental, into the middle of our life, we have this identity that we built, which clutters us from connecting to source. So to your point, if you're speaking to somebody who's much older or somebody who's much, much younger, that's actually a conduit to source. I mean, we can do it through meditation, we can do it through breathing, but what a beautiful opportunity to talk about the perspective. Because, I've got 2 kids. I don't know if you can hear them. I should probably go, if they're loud, let me know. But my wife, my brother-in-law's kids are here. So my wife's out and they're making Christmas cookies right now. And I can hear them yelling. But I'm sure right now they're freaking out because it's the first time they've actually used an oven making Christmas cookies. And so they're like, so it would be fun to go, it's hard to do the show. Well, I can hear that, but that's also my issue. They're having fun right now, and they're seeing the idea of making their own Christmas cookies, going in. I was listening to them in my ear. I can hear them going like this. They're going, "What's dough? Dough becomes the cookie? No way!" And they're yelling like they're pumped. They're like, "How does that happen?" Jackson, I think, is 5, like 7 and 5. I think they're 7 and 5.
His name's Jackson?
Yeah, the older one's Jackson, the younger one is Gray, but he spells it Jaxon. Yours is Jackson, right? Yeah, his is the funky new age way. You're classic Jackson. This is classic Jackson. New age Jackson. We got new age Jackson.
That's funny you're mentioning, because that's one thing that's been happening during COVID is we obviously haven't been going out to eat. So Barb, one of the things she's been doing to occupy her talents and everything is been cooking. So she's been getting all these different cookbooks and trying different recipes and everything. But the cool thing about it is Jackson walks in and goes, "Mommy, what are you doing?" He's like, "Okay, baby, come up here." And we got him a little step stool and we got him a little kitchen knife set, a little place. So he has actually been learning about cooking at 4 years old, even before 4 years old. So it's kind of intriguing to see where that might take him, that he might not have had that experience had this not have happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, you know what? Some of my best memories with my son are doing things like that. And I think, one of the things that I loved when he was young was the ideal of what they call lifestyle of learning, which is every opportunity, anything you do is an opportunity to teach your kids something, right? And so if you're in the kitchen doing something you think is mundane and everyday, it's not to them. Get them involved. Let them do some little piece of it that they can manage at whatever their appropriate age is. And the more they engage, then the more they build their confidence. And so as time goes on, then it's easier and easier for them to feel like, okay, I think I can try this on my own. I think I can do this thing. And that was one of the things my son loved to do actually growing up was baking and cooking. And he still does, he'll still come in the kitchen and he makes like these killer breakfast potatoes. I mean, it's ridiculous. I cannot copy those things. They're amazing. So yeah, I mean, it's just so much fun. And that's how you also, like you said, you uncover these parts of your kids because you see, if they find something they really love, then they can really latch on to that and it can become like this journey of exploration for them.
Nice. Here's a question for both of you guys. So I heard you say that, once these things that we do become mundane, that's a choice. So, whether it's cooking, whether it's driving, whether it's playing, whether it's dancing, like eventually we see something as a chore and it's not fun anymore. What is it that gets lost and why? Like let's talk about some ways that, because I'll give you an example for me. There's a long time where because of I'm going back and forth to work, that driving became a task and you hate driving. I love to drive though. I love driving. So I turn on songs on the radio that remind me of being a kid again. And I remember that first time someone's giving me a car saying, "You can drive this thing." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So let's talk about that. How do you take the mundane and make it beautiful in the moment and be present in those things? Because they're part of our life. When did we lose joy in that? And how do we shift back to that?
Ladies
Great
first.
question. Yeah, what comes to mind is when I was right after I graduated from high school, I was working at a fast food restaurant and I was normally out front. I was normally on the cash register, but they, for some reason I got put back in dishes one day. And I was like, dishes? Seriously? I mean, because at that time we didn't have a dishwasher at home. And so we had to hand wash all of our dishes. And with a family of 4 people, that gets to be a lot of dishes, right? Well, anyway, so I was like, oh, great, dishes, whatever. But I knew I was going to be back there all day. So I'm back there scrubbing. And all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? This is kind of like relaxing. I think I can just kind of like sit here and just do this. And I don't have to think about anything. I can just do it. And then it became a thing, like I mean, it really just shifted dishes for me. And not that I love to do dishes all the time, right? But when I do them, I try to remember, hey, take that moment, be like conscious and just enjoy it. Like feel the water, feel how warm it is. Watch the plate get clean. I know it sounds like
It doesn't.
a little crazy,
Feeling of
but
accomplishment, though. It's a feeling of accomplishment. Like you got
it
something
is.
done.
And it's a little bit meditative, You're just
Meditating
kind
in
of
the moment.
in
It's
that moment.
perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you,
Nice,
Chris,
nice.
that's beautiful. I love it.
It is. I mean, that's great. It's for me, honestly, Scott, it's a great question. For me, it's gratitude. And when I'm doing something mundane, I immediately go to gratitude. And there was this one situation, and I can't remember if I've told it to you before, but it was one day I was inside my house and I'm very blessed. And I was like, oh, I got to go clean the pool. Literally just like that. I got to go clean the pool. Something mundane, and I was like, and I got out there and I'm like, Chris, you have a pool. You stupid motherfucker. You have a pool. What are you bitching about? And so when I think about like, oh, I got to do yard work and you're going out there and okay, how can I reframe this? Like I get to do yard work. I get to get outside and get vitamin D. I get to play music. I get to sit there and think about stuff. I get to ignore all the conversations that are going on around me. And so for me, even when I was driving in traffic, some of that stuff was like crazy. But then I started saying, okay, what can I do? Okay, I started listening to podcasts every day. I started scheduling coaching calls in the car. It was like my mobile office. It was like, okay, cool. Every time I get in the car now, I can record a video or I could do something like that. So I always look in the gratitude of it is like, am I using my body? I have arms and limbs? This is pretty cool. I'm pretty blessed with this. So that's what I think about it. And if something is mundane, I also sit there and question myself, why am I doing it? I remember reading Tim Ferriss's The 4 Hour Work Week and talking about, outsourcing stuff. If you're doing something that's mundane, if you're doing something that you're good at when you could be doing something that you excel at, then you need to question yourself, who do you need to farm that out to? So, but my whole answer on that one, Scott, is gratitude. It's just like, do I get to do it? Hell yeah, I get to do it.
All of that was beautiful because I mean, again, you're finding something that you've got to do. Somebody's got to do the dishes, so you're finding enjoyment in that, Pam. Chris, your point of just being grateful, like recognizing I have a car, I have a pool, I have a home, and then the other thing that you led into too is actually the perfect finish to that because Tim Ferriss, I mean, says it right. There's a lot of people who talk about that. You should be farming out everything that you do during your day should be in your scope of genius. So if there's a moment where I'm spending like a half a day cleaning my house, not that that's not important and not that that's not something I need to be done, but just do the math. Like what can I pay somebody? Like how many hours, how many dollars an hour? Someone else should be doing that. And I'm not saying like I'm saying there's something I'm much better at that I should be out doing with greater efficiency. And that's what I do. I do things that I should be doing. And that's what we all got to do. We got to find our genius and our brilliance and be giving that to the world. And if it's cleaning and making a house spotless, that's an amazingly important thing because my house is clean, allows me to do the things here and make me use my brilliance. So all these jobs matter, but you don't want to be doing the things that you're only decent at.
Absolutely. That's such a great point. It reminds me of that book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I was just talking to a guy the other day and Logan Tyler. He was somebody that wants to be on one of our shows and he was sitting there talking about, and he knew about Gay Hendricks and The Big Leap. He's like, oh yeah, I've read that book. I'm like, dude, you're like, like 10 years old or something like that. He looks really super young. But yeah, doing that, it's funny about that, Scott, because I had people tell me about that. Like I used to do my own yard work, my own cleaning, my own car washing. They're like, Chris, you could be farming that out and doing something else. I'm like, but most of it is my quiet time where I come up with great ideas for me to implement in other places. So sometimes it actually makes sense to do that. Like sometimes I miss doing yard work because I remember like I would just sit there and clip, twigs and stuff like that. And I would my brain was able to like relax enough for me to come up with creativity, create ideas.
Sure.
But I wanted to check, Trisha said, I'm seeing more parents at the barn, not just to be there with the kids, but also to take a break from the world. The kids are actually less stressed when they're adults, they're due to focus. Yeah, it's Trisha actually runs with horses. She actually trains and shows horses. So yeah, it's crazy. You're just not even feeding up on their stress and everything that they have going on. Christina says, my daughter's learning cooking too. Tomorrow, baking Christmas cookies. She gets to use the ballpoint hammer to crush the candy cane for peppermint bark. Ooh, ouch.
Sounds aggressive.
Yeah. Geez. Teresa. Hey, what's up, Teresa? Good to see you. I have to hand it to you guys with kids. Can't imagine how hard it's been with the pandemic, sticking with cats and dogs. We have those too. We have cats and dogs. I mean, I have a 4-year-old son. You have a 14-year-old daughter, and you have a 20-year-old son. So we've got the we've got the gamut. We've got the gamut going on. Mark
We covered
Gassert
it.
from Peachtree, Georgia, the peachiest place on the planet. We got Mark from Peachtree, Georgia, and we got Teresa from I know Athens, Georgia, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Mom says the pandemic is somewhat like a learning experience for the kids. They are resilient and they can bounce back. But what about the parents that show negativity? Actions speak louder than words. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's, I sit there and think about it. And Scott and you and I've had this conversation. I think Pam, you and I have had it as well. It's like sometimes we think about where should the focus be at, as far as kind of changing the world. And, I think about like we can still change the older people, our age and, younger, but, it's really about the youth. But yeah, it's something we have to definitely invest in. Deanna says, Callie in the house. What's up? I just saw your photo shoot. That looked great, by the way. I just want to tell you that. Teresa's in Winterville, just outside of Athens. Go Dogs. Absolutely. So speaking of all of this and looking to the future, what are you guys looking at for 2021, and what kind of impact can we all make with the kids? What can we do collectively together with the three of us? What can we do? What can we suggest to the people here that are watching this tonight? How can we help those kids? I mean, big brother, big sister, mentoring. I mean, what other ideas can we do to really give them that connection that they need? Because I know I personally am going to get back into that definitely next year. I know I've been lazy about it this year.
I love this question. I've actually been thinking about this, and one of the things that I have talked to you about is, getting some of my work out to kids that, really may not have an opportunity to get that kind of information otherwise, so that, we can start to make an impact now in the generations that are coming. Because, like you said, I mean, our kids are the future. And I think sometimes as parents, it's very hard to see beyond the right now. I mean, we're so busy, and it can be very challenging to think, what are the things I need to do right now that are going to really matter in 15, 20 years for my kids? We're trying to get through 2020 and survive all the way to 2021, right? I mean, that's just where a lot of people have been this year. And so, I mean, realizing that, number one, I think it doesn't have to be difficult. It isn't something else that we need to add to our plate. And that when we do the things that, are really beneficial to our kids long term, it will actually ultimately take things off of our plate. But, to know that the tools are available, and that if we reach out and we get the help and say, hey, I just need some support for a little while, just for the next couple of months, just for the next month. I just got to get through, to do those little things that are going to make a difference for years to come is priceless. It's like we don't think twice about going out and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on Christmas presents. But it's like, what are you really investing in? Long term, ultimately, what do you really want for your kids? Those hundreds of dollars worth of toys are going to last X number of months, probably, maybe weeks in some cases. And then that's that. What can you do for them long term? How can you spend that money in a way that it changes their life?
Bam. Thoughts on that, Mr. Goyette?
That's a beautiful question. And I always try to answer these questions and figure them out not from a place of privilege, because it's very easy for me to say, well, here's what I did with my kid and it's going great. But then I look at all the resources and all the opportunity and all the things that I've got that allow those things to happen. I'm not ignorant of the fact that some of the things that I'm doing are because there's a village that helped in creating that. So I would say, first and foremost, communication's the hugest thing that you can give your child, regardless, because one of the things that we end up making excuses for is when we don't have money or somebody's working too much, you always say, tomorrow I'll do this, tomorrow we'll connect, tomorrow we'll do this, and tomorrow never comes. Today is always coming. It's here right now. So I would say that communication has to always include honesty, transparency, support. But one of the things Chris and I always talk about too, and I think this would be a beautiful thing that we could teach in a children's book, is to talk about resiliency in the format of creating a team. Because the parent won't be there 24/7, the teacher won't be there 24/7, the best friend won't be there, the brother, the sister, but they'll all be there at different times. So what does that team look like? And Chris and I have been talking about this. Your team has to have somebody that you trust exclusively with anything that happens. So the person that you can say your wildest dreams and they don't look at you like, dude, are you serious? Are you okay? That person that can just receive that and say, I still love you for who you are. The next person has to be that energizer, that person who's the cheerleader, that when you say the dumbest thing in the face of the earth, they're like, yay. And they just, they're going to cheer you on no matter what. And then the one that a lot of us don't incorporate because we don't like it is that person who forces accountability. That person who goes, Scott, you're full of shit. You said this before. You're never going to do it. You're a liar. And you don't want that person. So a lot of us don't have that person and they don't challenge us. And then the important one, and as kids, we don't know how to find this often. We just take the one that we assume is it, the mentor. So we might say it's our parent, our grandparent, or whoever's there raising us. We might just make that our mentor. And so you can look across the board at kids who repeat cycles because they had an unintentional mentor in a parent who wasn't doing things that were growth oriented. There were things that take them down a bad path. So is there any intention? Are they bad people? No. But what I would be selling to these kids is to take responsibility. And if you want resiliency, you've got to build a team. And if we could get that into a kid's book, or we could get that into teachers' mouths, or if we can get that into the places where the nooks and crannies these kids are getting missed, if they start really building that from day one, imagine like you're in the sandbox and you say, let's build our team. And you literally have the kids figuring this out and it's like a game, and then suddenly it becomes reality. We'd be in a much better place because kids don't know how to go find mentors. Most 40-year-olds, you say, have you ever had a mentor? They don't even know what it means. They really don't. So that's my 22 cents worth right there.
But that goes back. Yeah, that goes back, Scott, to setting the example. I'm glad you said that, because how many adults really have mentors? How many adults have accountability partners? Yeah. So of course they're not going to sit there and say, okay, son, like they say, oh, who's your hero? They do that kind of stuff. But in the end, what does the parent want? The parent wants to be the hero. The parent wants to be, thinks that they're the one that I'm setting the example. I'm tough love. You're gonna learn tough love. I learned tough love. You're gonna learn tough love. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. What do you think, Miss Pamela Aubrey? Love your reindeer antlers.
Thanks. I'll share them if you want. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think that going back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier too, is try to remember what it's like to be that age and, to be going through some of these things that we're going through from that perspective. And then how do you put the right people together to, create a support system for your kids, or for, maybe it's not even your kids, maybe it's your nieces, your nephews, your grandkids, whatever the case may be. But how do you support them, maybe in ways that you might not have thought of otherwise? And I love what you're saying, Scott, because it does take a village. We do need each other. It's not, especially, single parents, it's not possible for one person to be all things to their children, especially if you have multiple kids, right? I mean, and there are a lot of single parents out there with 2-3 kids, and they're trying to work and deal with, the kids all day and getting school done. And that is an incredible order, right? And hats off. I mean, antlers off to all the moms and dads out there that have been doing this on their own, through the pandemic. That is miraculous. I mean, really. And so, yeah, just to know, I think it would really be amazing to see more resources being put in place for some of those families who don't have, access to maybe as much support. And what could be done is really limitless. It's just a matter of people coming together and putting the plans in place and getting the schools behind it, getting the organizations that are already doing this behind it and getting the information out there to people. So yeah, I love that.
I have a crazy idea.
Go crazy idea.
I've actually had this idea for a long time. It was actually originally started with the homeless, because I was like, how can I help people with the least amount of problems and the most amount of possible exposure? And I thought, and when you were talking, Pam, I was like, parks. Like, show up at a park and just say, hey, Sunday, instead, if you're not a church person, hey, Sunday at 9 a.m., guess what? We're going to be talking with kids. We're going to be talking with young kids, old kids. I won't swear. You go to a park and you just start talking, and you have like a mini classroom or something like that, something that can just start to feed out. And that could be, I could create a movement, like people in their local organizations or local communities. Can you get your brain, the people who are successful, get them together and go maybe spend 10, 15, 20 minutes talking in the park and helping.
We're doing it. Yeah. So that's what we're doing when I come to LA. That's it right there.
See?
Perfect.
No, and I have somebody who was already doing this. You just created a visual right then. So I've got some other people in LA who are motivational speakers. We're going to actually go to like Huntington Beach, and we're going to invite like church groups and school groups and kid groups. We're going to go have an event on the beach. This is going to happen, actually. That's beautiful. Cool. It started right here. You just actually were part of listening to something that's going to come into fruition, and we'll take pictures, and you heard it here first.
What? Well, cool. I left you a message the other day when I came back from the beach, didn't I? I said I had an amazing idea.
Is that it?
Part of that was the amazing idea. Part of the other part was the fundraiser. But yeah, but it ultimately said like doing an event. Yeah.
We'll do like a Go Love Now thing. We'll hand out bands and we'll do something on the beach. You coming? Let's do it.
Yeah.
March 31st, is that right? March 27th to 31st, we're going to be there.
Yes. Cool. Yes. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's what happens when you just get some people together. 5 o'clock happy hour is just us jamming, just talking. I mean, I literally almost forgot we were doing this live, because sometimes we have conversations where we're not live, but we're just sitting here in StreamYard and we're just talking, we're just riffing, we're just brainstorming. So let me capture a couple of these comments. I know you guys got to run. I want to respect everybody's thank you guys so much for being here. I mean, really, it's so funny. The 5 o'clock happy hour was just something that we just like, okay, what are we going to do in between the end of the Friday night live shows and the Unfiltered experience? I'm like, I don't know, let's just do like a happy hour. Just jump on for 10 or 15 minutes. So we wind up still jumping on for an hour. Yeah, dude.
We're supposed to be 10 minutes to say hi to people. It's impossible.
That's right.
Yep. Deanna says, yep. Christina says, I've been connected with my daughter more and enjoying the outdoors and the snow. Absolutely. Trisha says, take time to create adventures, camping, hiking, fishing, teach them the outlets, unplug. Yes. So massively important. Exactly. So many lost parents are clueless. Drives me nuts. Oh, Jesus. If there should be a license for something, it should be becoming a parent. But that's a whole nother.
Oh my God.
Marlene says, hello, Pamela, Christopher, and Scott. Thank you for being here with Marlene. And Angel says, it's all about having a system. Angel, you're a rock star. Thank you. Our new friend. Do you know Dan Fail? Pam, do you know Dan?
That name sounds familiar.
Dan meet Pam. We met Dan earlier this week because of Pam. Ooh, that's a freaking that's a whatchamacallit.
Say that 5 times fast.
That's a Green Eggs and Ham song.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. I could have done it.
Oh, dude, I actually read that book.
Spit it out too.
You'll appreciate this, Scott. As a speaker, I read those Dr. Seuss books as fast as I can for my speaking enunciation. Like I can rip them off.
Nice.
I just am a mess, because what happens is, and I've learned this, when I start telling stories from long ago, I start speaking Boston because I visualize, and then I'll go to tell a story from like Mexico and I start speaking Spanish, and I have this like weird intertwine where I'm going, so I was home and I started parking cars, my buddy Mike, and I can't help it. So I just realized this. When I'm doing motivational speaking, I'm going to accidentally go into character. Just enjoy it. Nice. That's all I can do.
You should do it all the time.
Marlene says, it is a fabulous idea, Christopher. Dan says, count me in. Right on.
Sweet.
Southern California, Dan. So I know you guys got to jump off here. One last thing I want to ask you guys is
I didn't do it.
I
thought I was getting accused of
something.
something.
I'm telling you right now, it's Scott, but we'll just leave it at that.
I'm thinking. So if this is technically our last show, I think we're still going to come on Christmas or something like that. What do you guys got planned for 2021? What's exciting? What's got you amped up?
Scott.
So I'll tell you this. We bought those wealth bracelets, and I didn't do it for pure financial wealth. It was for abundance. It was for things to start clicking. And I'm just going to share a few of the things because, Glenn brought up a point at the beginning of the show. You just said, I love your positivity. And my positivity isn't fake bullshit positivity. Like, I see what's going on in the world. I see the things that don't work. And I really try to focus on how can I take my brilliance and build things and make things happen. And I really, when I say, like, some people throw out the spiritual vibe bullcrap, like love and light coming at you. When I say that in a comment, I'm literally physically breathing in and sending you love and light from my heart. I swear to God. If you get that comment on Facebook, or you see when I put the heart and the hands in the heart and you think that's not words, that means more than me writing 50 things. Like, I'm bringing you my energy, I swear. And so what I am seeing 2021 to be is I'm watching all these things materialize. I'm watching that I really don't think from here anymore. I think from here. I see it fluidly coming out of me. I mean, I even know in my talks with Chris, when we first started this, I was still thinking here, and I'm fully thinking here now. And as I feel that, I can see good things happening. And I'll give you a few things that have happened recently. all of the things that we didn't get to do last year between retreats and just all these good things, they're all coming to fruition. They're taking off like wildfire. I just found out my father-in-law was going through chemo, who's really scared that his tumor didn't shrink and that he might not make it. All worked out perfect. Best day ever. And we just found that out today. My mother-in-law had broken her leg. She healed extra quickly. My parents are doing great. Just all the things of health, everything is ready to have a beautiful 2021. So whatever happens, it's already perfect. And I'm going to make sure I write this story to make it more than perfect. The perfection is just the foundation. The gratitude is just the foundation. Whatever comes is going to be the story we write. And I will guarantee you it's going to be beautiful. And again, love and light, it's happening. So that's what I got.
Amen.
And so it is.
So it is. And so it is.
Mike is yours.
Yeah, I really resonate with that, you know, there's just a lot of amazing things that are going to happen in 2021. I think people are going to be, it's going to be, you know, I think there's going to be changes and shifts, but I think people might be surprised by some of what happens, but I think it's all going to be very, very good changes. And yeah, I mean, I have a very good feeling about 2021 overall.
Mm-hmm. Chris, what do you got, brother?
That. Me?
Yes, sir.
What's kind of interesting is that yeah, I'm kind of optimistic about next year. I don't know why. Just a little optimistic. I look at 2020 for me personally in my journey. You guys know my 26-year journey with my job and all that stuff I had to go through, reshaping my identity, all the different. I mean, the last 2 years of my life have just been super. The last 2 years, the last 4 years getting my son. Even the 2 years before that, there's been so much stuff that has happened since 2013. Really, it's just been a fucking journey of immense proportions, meeting so many people, connecting with so many people, really becoming more comfortable with who I am, what I'm about, what I'm going to do, the impact I'm going to have in the world, meeting so many fucking amazing people. Truly has just been so inspiring for 2021. First and foremost, my health. So I will be taking my health a lot more seriously. Scott, I think you mentioned this, or you agreed to do this. So I'm going to put this out there. We're going to do a little thing on Instagram. Both of us are growing our Instagram. You should grow your Instagram, Pam. So we're just going to do these things called Reels because our friend John Stankiewicz, who's in our Unstoppables little mastermind we have, what did I just drew?
We're talking about John. We're talking about Mastermind, LinkedIn. I mean, I'm Instagram, and we're going to start putting out the Reels.
Yeah. Oh, doing the Reels thing. Sorry. No, thank you, Scott.
I'm with you. I'm there for you, brother.
Yeah.
So I'm your second half of your mind.
Reels thing on Instagram. We're just going to do short videos that we're doing every day to grow ourselves. I mean, I'm going to be 52 in January. Scott, you're going to be 39 in March. Pam, you're going to be 22. I can't remember your birthday. Right. No, but seriously, we're just going to put it out there. I'm just going to be transparent. Like, hey, this is me getting back into shape. I posted the picture on Facebook. Just connecting with people, just making it more of an impact, working with helphealhumanity.org, doing stuff like that, getting back into the mentoring with kids. I really missed that this year. Being present and playful with my son, massively important. Yeah, I'm just super excited. I'm super excited about just taking everything that I've built to this point in my life to the next level. And I'm so thankful. That's why I wanted you guys on here just to chit chat, because I met both of you guys during this experience, during the COVID experience. You know, Scott, we were on the same network. Pam, I didn't even know you existed. And then boom, Glenn did that, like I said at the beginning of the show, and just everything fell into place. But you guys have been two of the greatest people in my life during this period of time, because you guys have both understood me, accepted me, known me for who I am, my idiosyncrasies and everything else, and be like, dude, you're still cool. We still want to party with you. We still want to hang with you. So I appreciate you guys a lot. I really love you both. We've met a lot of people during this time. And it's just funny. It's just when you throw shit against the wall, you see what sticks. And I see that tour happening, that bus tour. I see the stages. I see all the opportunities to really take the shit show of what 2020 was for some people, and really, like you said, Scott, so poetically before, is taking that and making that a history book thing. Like when the kids are older, like, oh my God, you guys did 2020. Oh my God. And now stuff is so much better. We're so much more aligned. We're so much more humanitarian focused. We're so much more like that. So that's what I see 2021 for me.
Dude, I think all three of us are in the river. We're in flow. We're in surrender. We're speaking from source. We're getting out of our ego and into our heart. And so there's actually not even a possibility of I mean, to say the word failure isn't a bad thing, because that's just stepping stones for learning. There's no possibility. There's not even a possibility of anything less than amazing growth. It can't be any other way. Literally can't. It's literally like we're in flow. We don't even have an option to not have a great 2021. But we're actually like, we're stuck. Like we have to deal with it, and it's just what it is. Sorry. You guys got to deal with it. Just deal with it and own it. Jump into it, Chris. Jump into it.
Jump into it. Yes, yes, yes. Final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to get you guys out of here before the hour's up, because we were talking about kids, and I can hear my kid talking. I can hear kids in your background. I know you're going to a Christmas party. Hey, to all you beautiful people here, I mean, Paul, thank you so much for being here. Positive 2021. Love the positivity. Teresa says, you guys are so genuine. Thank you for being you. Who else could we be? I mean, I've spent the last, I don't know, umpteen years of my life being somebody who I wasn't, trying to make other people like me for who I was and all that other bullshit. She says, like, no, lasty show. No, not the last.
No, just
not the ending, just the beginning.
The commencement.
The unfiltered experience. Just jump into it. Without the pandemic, we would never have met you guys. It's so true. It's so true. Yeah. It is so true. So final thoughts, Miss Pamela Aubrey.
Just grateful to be here, be with you guys. Anytime I get the opportunity to be with you, it's a joy. So thank you. And thank you for being, you know, that person in my life over this past year too, just being such a big heart and at times a shoulder to lean on, and just being an overall amazing and wonderful person and friend. And Scott, to you as well. You are always such a big, bright light, and I know you are going to be a bigger and brighter light as time goes on, but that's hard to imagine because you always really do just light up a conversation, a moment, and it's a beautiful thing. So thank you.
And back at you. Happy, joy. You guys are both incredible human beings, and it's awesome to have you and these people that we have here in the show who are going to be the unfiltered crew. So it was the unfiltered crew, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to make sure we got all these new things we're doing. I'm like, am I saying this right? Is it the unstoppable crew? Is it the unfiltered crew? And that actually allows everybody, when you're the unfiltered crew, to say whatever the hell you want. So we're offering you that opportunity to have a safe place to do that. So yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. There's gluten-filled cookies that are going on out there that I can't eat. I can't eat them.
I can smell them from here, though. It smells so good.
There's things going on out there.
Gluten-filled? Did you say gluten-filled or gluten?
Gluten-filled, because they don't care. I'm the celiac. They're not. They're going to go eat gluten-filled. I'm just going to go sniff them. I can't eat them anyway. I'm on that healthy diet.
They made special cookies for you. That's what I was trying to interpret.
They actually, no, they did. There are some out there that'll have it
gluten-free.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'd rather them not make them gluten-free, because I'm still in my veggie thing where I'm doing all the healthy food. So if there's gluten-free, I might be like kind of like making sure no one's looking and be like, eat a few and then try to distribute them differently. Like there wasn't 12, there was 7. There was 7.
So. I will send you my gluten-free broccoli chocolate chip and parsley recipe. It's really to die for.
Broccoli chocolate chip. That's vegan, right? As long as it's vegan chocolate, I can do it.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, boys and girls, look at the camera, say goodbye.